Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will be discussing Megger meter, which is your fifth lab, and it's on the equipment which is actually equipment which is used in your lab is somehow like this. But yes, digital Megger meters be present होते हैं which are more accurate and give you more precise value of resistance. Itself, what is a Megger meter? It is basically an insulation tester. किसी भी किस्म की insulation of your electrical appliances जो है when they are after a specific interval of time to check their accuracy or their working, you can actually check them with the help of your insulation testers जिनमें से एक Megger meter है, right? So insulation resistance depends upon temperature जो आपकी सराउंडिंग में है, जहाँ पे आपका इक्विपमेंट यूज़ हो रहा है, मॉइस्चर, cleanliness of your equipment, age means कितने अरसे से it has been using आप it अच्छा equipment can be a wire also. आप कोई वायर है, कोई let's say इलेक्ट्रिक मशीनरी है, कोई इलेक्ट्रिक केटल है या फिर मोटर है, राइट? ऑल ऑफ दोज इक्विपमेंट्स जिसमें एक एक्सटर्नल बॉडी इंसुलेशन होती है एंड वायरिंग होती है, राइट? एंड whenever whether that body is metallic, plastic, जो भी मटेरियल यूज हुआ, if you touch it and you don't observe any current, then it means that it has a outer insulation and you can check that insulation, right, with the help of a proper insulation tester. So Megger meter is basically an insulation tester which is used to measure higher resistances, right, in the order of mega ohms for testing insulation resistances. So it has two terminals, one is live, one is earth, and between those two terminals, live and earth, आप अपनी insulation को connect करते हैं. Accordingly you change the speed of your this हैंडल, राइट? जितना आप इसको फ्रीक्वेंटली तेज़ मूव करेंगे उतना ही आपकी कांस्टेंट वोल्टेज जनरेट होगी. सो वर्किंग प्रिंसिपल ऑफ मेगर मीटर इज के इट वर्क्स ऑन द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ मूविंग कॉइल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स. मीन्स ये कि आप कंडक्टर में whenever you place a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, जो कंडक्टर होता है, इट एक्सपीरियंस है मैग्नेटिक मैकेनिकल फोर्स, राइट? सो सेम फिनोमेना पे आपका मेगर मीटर भी वर्क करता है. एंड as you know from your previous studies that the force, the magnitude and direction of that specific mechanical force is dependent upon the direction of current and also the direction of magnetic field. So somehow the whole working principle of Megger meter lies around the concept of pressure pipe, right? प्लमिंग जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स होते हैं जो प्लमर यूज़ करता है, it is dependent on that specific concept, right? So what a plumber do actually is that he apply a specific pressure in a pipe, right? Now that pipe can be a gas pipe or a water pipe, right? And with the help of that specific equipment वो higher pressure apply करता है in that specific pipe, and if there is a specific leakage then that specific measuring gauge represent the value, a decreased value, right? Either it will be on maximum or it shows a decreased value, which means that there is some leakage present in your pressure pipe, right? So same concept को use करते हुए we actually use the Megger meter. It actually pressure test your equipment at a higher voltage, means if it's rated for 220 voltage, right? So आप इसको pressure test करेंगे that specific equipment or insulation को at a higher voltage. So voltage is similar to that specific pressure applied, right? And when there is a leakage in your pipe, then that water flowing is equivalent to your current in this analogy, right? So it means that if there is a hole or if there is a leakage of current or if there is an insulation break, right, तो वो current flow जो होगा that is represented by your water flow or your gas flow, and if there exists a leakage and the current is flowing out of your insulation, then the pressure gauge is in this electrical equipment testing is actually your resistance, right? R is equal to V by I. So if there is a R present, lesser R value present, it means there is a leakage current which is producing at a specific constant DC voltage, specific resistance, right? So construction of your Megger meter, it consists of a handheld DC generator, right? Which when we rotate your DC generator, it produces a constant DC voltage, right? So there are two set of coils present in your Megger meters. This is somehow the inner diagram of your Megger meter, right? So there is a hand driven generator placed in a magnetic field. So when you move this generator, you produce the change of magnetic field, right? Changing effect, and that which causes the flow of the current. Now if there is insulation present between your earth and live terminals, क्या होगा आपका current flow होगा through this circuit, right? Now there are two set of windings जो आपकी needle के साथ attach है, which is basically fluctuating between 0 to infinite mega ohm resistances, right? A coil is actually parallel to your insulation, right? So it is kind of producing the effect of V, right? It is in parallel combination to your insulation. You can see resistance, then it is connected with the needle, and then it is going back towards your hand driven generator. Similarly, there's another set of winding which is in series with your insulation. There's insulation connected between these two terminals, and then there is a R1, and then यहाँ पे आपका needle के साथ यहाँ पे connection हुआ है, then it is again going back towards your hand driven generator. So the movement of this deflection coil is dependent upon both the voltage and the current equivalent coils, right? So the equivalent effect of your voltage is produced by this set of coil which is attached here, and the uh, effect of the your current is produced by equivalent effect of voltage is produced by this coil, and equivalent effect of current is produced by this coil, right? So if you short these two terminals, maximum current will flow through this path because they are connected to each other. So in this scenario, your current your needle will be deflected towards zero, right? And when they're if you keep them open, so it is toward infinity, and if you move your hand driven generator, then it will automatically move toward infinity because there's no resistance present, right? Sorry, there is infinite resistance. Now infinite is something जो यहाँ पे आपको ये analogy ऐसे होगी जैसे infinite doesn't mean that your insulation has infinite resistance. Your scale is not indicating this analog micrometer scale is not indicating that higher values. So it is actually showing it with the value of infinite. It can be in giga ohms, right? So maybe it can be 1000 giga ohms, maybe it can be 10 giga ohms, right? So your scale is not, if it's not designed, it means yes, for your testing it's fine कि आपका up to 100 mega ohms आपकी more than 100 mega ohms आपकी resistance जा रही है of your insulation of any electrical equipment, so it is fine, ठीक है. It doesn't you doesn't require another equipment जो आपको exact value show करे. So for testing के लिए analog is a fine equipment, right? Okay, so there is a as I said to you, there are two set of coils. One is the current coil which is connected in series with resistance R1, and the other is the pressure coil which actually produce the effect of the voltage, right? And it is connected across the generator terminal, which is in series with R2, but in parallel to your insulation which you are connecting. Plus there is a guard ring which is provided to shunt the leakage current, which can be within the instrument itself, right? There is a थर्ड टर्मिनल आपकी लाइफ के साथ ही एक छोटा सा टर्मिनल एडिशनल होगा नेम्ड एज गार्ड रिंग, राइट? मोस्टली इसका यूज़ इतना नहीं होता, बट यस यू कैन connect it with your live wire to nullify the effect of, if there is an internal leakage current, तो आप उसको remove कर सकें of your equipment. But normally we don't use this specific scenario, right? So the test voltage which is normally generated by a Megger meter is up to usually more than 250, right? It's up to 500, 1000, 600, 700 इतनी voltage generate होती है. और normally for a 250 volt equipment you should be pressure testing it at up to 1000 volts or 700, 500, minimum 500 volts, right? DC voltage. So as the details of the circuit has been explained to you, it's having very high resistance, right? Plus ये दोनों coils जो हैं they produce the effect equivalent effect of your voltage and your current. So this one is producing the effect of voltage, coil B is producing the equivalent effect of your current. If you want to test कि if this motor is properly grounded, आप इसके पॉजिटिव टर्मिनल को उसके स्विच के साथ कनेक्ट करेंगे एंड नेगेटिव को विद द बॉडी ऑफ योर मोटर जो ग्राउंडिंग हुई हुई है. Sorry, if you connect the live wire with earth terminal and the second wire with your body, and if it's showing a zero value it means कि आपकी grounding proper हो रही है. Yes, आप live और body के दरमियान भी चेक कर सकते हैं, आप अर्थ एंड लाइफ के दरमियान भी चेक कर सकते हैं. बोथ सिनेरियोज में शुड बी इन्फिनिट रेजिस्टेंस. मीनिंग ऑफ जीरो एंड इन्फिनिटी रीडिंग आपको मैंने बता दी है कि ज़ीरो कब आएगा when there is a maximum current flowing through your, or if there is a short in your winding, right? And infinity normally तब आता है in analog if there is a maximum resistance present between your insulations, right? So all you would be doing is that आप वायर के दो टर्मिनल्स को कनेक्ट करेंगे and you will check if there is a current flowing and there is no leakage current, so you will note your voltage, your resistance indicated and the current flowing through your equipment, right? So yes, अगर आपकी दोनों वायर्स में leakage current exist नहीं करता, so this voltage would be whatever constant voltage, let's say 700 to 500, and indicated resistance को you can take up to infinite means आप अब तकरीबन इसको ले सकते हैं up to 1000 mega ohms या more than 1000 mega ohms, and current आपका बहुत minor flow होगा which can be easily observed with the ratio of with the values of ohms law. You can roughly estimate कि आपका current जो flow हो रहा है between these two set of insulation, this is actually very less. So yes, that specific current which is flowing between your insulation is actually conductive leakage current. So this is all for your lab. Allah Hafiz.